Welcome to junkjournalmayhem at Studioloo.
It's day 27 and we are playing with elastics. So I grabbed this is for my batik tie-dye projects that I do. I have all these elastics and I decided today to grab these little ones because I think they are going to serve my project. So I was digging through this bag of, these are cut out pictures from a big art book. And so I decided to find what I wanted to work with before making today's video. And I found these lovely little singers here with these instruments and this blue paper. So I think what I want to do is glue this on here to begin with. Okay. And that's going to be like our focal point. Now, I think I will trim this off here. And then we'll bring this down to a reasonable size. Put that in the scraps. Okay. Then what I think I'd like to do is, have you guessed? I want to make these like strings on these instruments so that you can kind of pluck them. So what I will do to create that, I think, is I've threaded a needle with embroidery floss here. And I've got way too much of it. I probably can shorten that considerably. And then just tie a knot in one end. So. And then we'll decide where we want to put these strings and how many. So I think per guitar, I could probably put 2 and that would look cool. So what I need to do is create one hole here and then in front of it a little close, not too close that they pierce together, like maybe a centimeter apart. One there and one there. And then the same thing at the other end where you want the other end of the elastic to be. So the elastic's going to sit in between them. Probably here and here. Then I'll do the same thing beside it, same place, because we want 2 elastics. So then from the back, I'll come through here. Okay, that knot down there. And then we'll thread the elastic on and go through the other hole. And just kind of pull it tight, and that will keep it there. And go in the other hole, the same spot, like the first set of 4 holes. Then grab the other end here, and that will stretch that out. And then go right through the back again. So there, see, we've got those 2. They're pulled there. So then just hold it taut and then press your finger down. Come right through the back. And then tie a knot. And then maybe a second knot just to make sure it doesn't untangle. And come in that back hole above. Thread the elastic again. Go through the second hole on this side, all the way, and then to the other end, first hole. Get your elastic, and then head into the second hole. Just check the front, make sure it's stretched, nice and tight. Again, hold that tautly and thread it through. Oops. Not one. This came unthreaded. I'm using a beading needle just because that's what was handy. Which is not the easiest thing to use with embroidery floss because, of course, there are 6 little strands and you got to keep them all together and get them through that hole. There we go. Another knot. Okay, so now we have this. And that's just a fun little, you know, interactive thing, right? Like when you're making a journal and you have a whole entire book of different pieces of small paper art, it's really nice to have something interactive like that. Now I think now that I look at this, I'm just going to have the one. I'm not going to use this one because I feel like this accomplishes the, you know, what I want. And this one, yeah, I could do that, but I think it kind of is more effective to have one that's not strung and then one that like takes center stage kind of, right? So then what I'll do on the back here is just cut this off rather. And I will take my contractor's tape and I'm just going to cover this whole thing with contractor's tape so that like it stays exactly as it is now. Let's click that extra off. So no movement can happen. Okay, so then let's think about how we can make this even more interesting. So I'm thinking like some words would be great if I could find something about music and then maybe some other collagey bits. Let's see, we've got talking in whispers. I find such pictures in my head. That's kind of cool. Beekeeper's manual, one of the most beautiful trees, retelling stories, stars to give them light, conservatories and stove houses, watchmaker, the world, smile, a secret smile. Halfway down to the lake, come for afternoon tea, a witch in a steeple hat, cup of strong tea, over their magic books all night, longed for more. It's hard sometimes when you're trying to find kind of a specific topic. Nature must take a journey, something strange. Words and songs. That will work. Once upon a time. Okay. So I think the best of that pickings was this. So we've got words and songs. I find such pictures in my head. Retelling stories, words and songs. Let's use that as like a, you know, a verse that we put down here. Now, this needs something more. I'm thinking, I'm looking up here. Hold on. That would be nice. Okay, and then maybe that and perhaps some of these leaves. Let's cut a few of them out and we'll kind of, yeah, we'll select maybe say 4 of them. So we'll just do a little collaging on the piece because that will make it more interesting. So this one we'll start with. Thought it was upside down for a second there. Okay, and then I'll fussy cut these leaves out. Okay, so maybe like one up here. I love these Minte basic books, I think they call them. They're like these really great little cutout books that you can get. And they're so nice. They're like a nice heavy weight paper. They have all sorts of themes. Okay. And then I just come in and I cut out the little white bits. It's kind of the easier way of doing fussy cutting of a leaf or something that has, you know, petals or hair or something like that, grass, where you've got to come in and cut out like negative space. Just cut the big part and then come in with little swipes to do this part, and then it's not so frustrating trying to fussy cut it in one fell swoop the whole piece. You can just do it easier. Okay, that one maybe here. Seeing so many collage books now on Amazon, but like all of them that I'm seeing are all AI generated images, so I'm not really interested in that. So it's nice that we still have things that are done by artists. I'm seeing a lot of people promoting them and I'm just kind of not into it. It's like enough that Etsy's already racked with AI. Thankfully it seems though that they're starting to make some rules about when using AI, it needs to be identified as such. So I think that it's going to be more prevalence of having to identify it, because I know Etsy specifically, I've been listening to a podcast. I forget the name of it. It's on YouTube, but I can't remember. They're these guys who, they do a lot of discussion about Etsy on YouTube. And they were talking about, you know, AI on Etsy and how it's really getting a little out of hand. I don't think a lot of people, especially like artists and designers who for a long time have had a shop like in that business where they've been working with designers, I feel like they're sort of, a lot of them get a little blinded by the ease of creating AI images, that they can't see them like I see them. Like when I look at AI images, I know right away they're AI. They don't need to have, you know, an extra finger or toe. I can just tell. And I'm not 100% against AI. That's not really my issue. My major issue is that AI is often, unless you're extremely knowledgeable about the tool you're using and the prompts that you're using, AI is using the stolen intellectual property of other artists as its database for creating new images. And I just can't stand behind that. I can't. It's like, nope. As an illustrator and a designer myself, and someone who buys, you know, rights from other artists to use work, like I just can't. I can't knowingly put myself and others out of business. And so I feel like, not just out of business, but like out of livelihood, out of love with their art. And I think I have seen some really interesting and kind of odd discussion on YouTube. Like I feel like in the junk journal world especially, AI is like this silent thing that nobody talks about. Like I even feel weird right now talking about it because no one really seems to like address it directly. And I think a lot of people don't even know what it is, right? I see like so many, like Facebook is like the ultimate scourge of it, really. I see so much of it there. I don't really participate though. I'm not a big Facebook user. So I see a lot of people who you know, even on YouTube in their comment sections, people have written things to them like, oh, wow, I've really seen your art grow so much over the last few months. And it's incredible, these things you're coming up with. And they take those compliments, right? But then I think to myself, how would I feel if someone said that to me and all of a sudden, you know, in the last few months, what was the change that I made? How did I actually grow? Oh, I stopped using my hands and my brain for art and I started using AI, and people like that more. I think I'd feel so like devastated as an artist, to be honest. And I think there's a lot of shops out there that I used to buy digitals from. I have bought AI digitals. I know for a fact I have, and sometimes I will if I feel like they're not in the vein of anything that I know, or like they're a very specific theme. It's not all that often, but from time to time. But I've seen shops that used to release really great digitals. They were working with designers, they were designing themselves, they were illustrating or working with illustrators. And the stuff they would sell was cool. It was great. It was journal kits, not just a page of the same thing again and again. You know, you get like a page of 500 images of Frida Kahlo, like even 30 images of Frida Kahlo that you've never seen before. That's how you know it's AI, right? So yeah, it's kind of weird, like they turned that way, because what they were already doing was really cool, but now they're just doing like AI, and I feel like they just can't see it. Like they don't see how completely obvious it is. And yeah, it's a complicated topic, right? It's a hot button issue, and I mean, it kind of shouldn't be, because there is a truth, right? It's not like it's really a debate. There is a truth. All of the AI applications were caught having a database of artists' names who they were scraping their work from the internet. Like, this has already been proven. So it's not really like we need to prove this kind of situation, but okay, I'm going to go and stitch around this, because you know me, I'm a stitch machine, and I'll be right back. So it's all done now, stitched around. Fun little interactive piece, right? It's just something fun in a journal to play with. So that is my use of elastics for today, and I will see you tomorrow for more mayhem. Bye for now.